Hello there, it's your Wisconsin Wine Guy, and welcome to another wine review. It's my wine microphone. Welcome to another wine review of what I like to call everyday drinking wines. And what I mean by that is these are wines that you can find wherever you shop, liquor store, grocery store, some wine shops. You find these wines readily available on the shelf for you to pick up. You have to go to the winery for these. But I pick out a few wines and taste them, give you my opinion, what I think about these wines, utilizing the infamous, very simple thumb rating system. Double thumbs up. You know, every now and then there's a double thumbs up that comes along, and a double thumbs up says, you know what, here's an exceptional wine. And hopefully you agree with me. But I myself would take a few of those bottles and I would sit on them and age them. I'm getting kind of older now, so I can't age that much longer with the wines, but they'll be there for someone in my future who would enjoy wines. Now, thumbs up says that, you know what, it's a good everyday drinking wine. Can't go wrong with it. Go to the store, pick this bottle up, can't go wrong with it. It's very consistent, always been consistent. Even though some years may change, it's always consistent. Thumbs up. 3/4. You know what? Here's a wine that if I was throwing a party, I wanted to buy wine in bulk, that would be that wine that I'm sure that my guests would enjoy because I would drink it. Halfway. Something about the wine didn't work for my palate. Doesn't make it a bad wine. It just didn't work for my palate, and I will tell you why it didn't work for mine. You taste it, then let me know in the comments, and let the rest of us know what you thought about the wine. Thumbs down. I don't need to say anything else about that, right? Thumbs down is always an easy one. So let's get into it. We are going to be doing the 2022 ERATH Pinot Noir. Who doesn't recognize this brand? What is that? There's another brand with the same color label, Mark West, I believe it was. I think I shot a video of a previous vintage of this, and I'll attach it to it. But I remember going to the store and getting those two wines confused because of the color of the label. All right. Now, it's only the color. The label itself and what's on the label looks different, but the coloring, if you're not paying attention, you may pick up Mark West. Enough of that. We're talking about ERATH. So ERATH is a winery out of Dundee, coming out of Oregon, one of the originals, so to speak. You know, one of the wineries that helped put Oregon Pinot Noir on the map. Okay, I've been around for over 50 years. You know, growing grapes and producing wine, and also taking advantage and utilizing Pinot Noir grapes grown from different parts of Oregon, so you can get that difference in each area contributing something unique, you know, to the finished product. So 2022 will be this. Alcohol is coming in at what do I always say? Can it just put the alcohol in the same spot on the bottle? Alcohol is going to be 13.4%. Here's something that's neat that most people probably don't know, or most people probably never paid attention to. So ERATH, E-R-A-T-H, you can see the spelling. This is what they have on the back of the bottle. Grapes from the earth, wines from the heart, ERATH. Did you ever realize that ERATH spells both earth and heart? Well, now you know, okay? So it'd be a good thing to put on your friends, you know, wait, what do you think ERATH stands for? All right? So we're going to give this a taste and see what we think of it. ERATH. Now, ERATH is a wine that, again, there's a lot of wine that a lot of us have brands, I should say, not wine, but brands that a lot of us used to enjoy many years ago. You know, but as brands begin to produce different labels or different brands themselves coming to the market, and we want to try them and try to find some different things, different unique wines or different unique brands, you know, discovering that wine or that new brand. We oftentimes forget about these wines that we've enjoyed many moons ago. And ERATH was one of those wines that the brands that I enjoyed many moons ago. And I'm always excited when I get a chance to go back and review some of these wines of the past. Okay? So now let's get a look at that Pinot Noir. In the video, you know, you really can't get, I should have a flashlight so you can see it. But this has a rather light coloring to it. Looking just down inside the glass, it's rather light coloring to it. You know, it's not deep, you know, like the wine, the Pinot Noir is coming from Russian River Valley in California, but it has a nice, you know, coloring to it, more like a lighter burgundy coloring to it, okay, but very well even almost in its color, you know, so very beautiful. But 2022, very interesting, okay. Now on the nose for this, Okay, interesting. It comes first for me, it comes dark berry fruit. Then it rolls into cherry. And then one of my favorites, but very subtle, would be that duck a l'orange nose to it. You know, I always associate that with Pinot Noir for some reason. You know, coming out of Burgundy, you find that. But it has to do with like the combination of the fruit, and in my opinion, the combination of the fruit and the specific toast on the barrel. You know, it just brings that nice duck a l'orange nose to it. And you know, we're talking about citrus. Okay, so that's the nose. I mean, very clean tasting, very fresh on the nose. Now for the taste, two-step process. How do we do this? Tell me. First taste, acidity. You know, no acidity, no play. Red, white, rosé, sweet, medium dry. No acidity, no play. Who wants to drink a flat wine? Might as well drink water, right? Now, second taste is when we actually will evaluate this wine. Here we go. Hmm. 2022. It's 3 years old, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful acidity. Okay. Retail, you can find this on sale. Okay, depending on where you're shopping, $12.99 to regular price at $20 or $20.99 or $21.99. You'll find it at regular price. So again, great acidity that it has here on this wine. So I like that. You know, now let's taste it and let's dive a little bit deeper. Now, if you can't find or get your hands on some Burgundy Pinot Noirs, go to Oregon, okay? And I'm not saying go to Oregon as a substitute or a second best. I'm saying go to Oregon as a first tier best for Pinot Noir. I mean, some exceptional Pinot Noirs that are, in my opinion, are in comparison to the Pinot Noirs from Burgundy. You know, some oftentimes I'm going to separate them. It's going to be more of depending on the toast of the barrel. This is also aged in French oak, you know, with their own specific toasting to the oak, which you pick up on in the taste of the wine. So it's an elegant tasting Pinot Noir. It is dry, but it has a nice subtle fruit finish with hints of that duck à l'orange, that toastiness with the citrus. So you pick up some citrus characteristics here too. I mean, Pinot Noir, believe it or not, when it's crushed, the juice comes out clear. Okay? So you pick up some of those citrus notes as well. I mean, that's the thing about Pinot Noir. It's so diverse in its taste and in its style, depending on where it's grown and how the wine is made. Mm. Again, just like silk on my palate. You know, a lighter style, 13% sweet spot for drinking. A lighter style, maybe like light to medium style, soft, smooth type tannins. I'm digging it. I'm enjoying it. You know, it's been a long time, probably a couple of years maybe, since I reviewed ERATH. You know, I got to see what that vintage was and see what I thought about it. But this is where we are right now. I am not disappointed. If we go into the store making this purchase, so I'm going to give this a thumb and a half. Thumb and a half, and I tell you why. So almost two, but a thumb and a half, and tell you why. Because had this part been a little bit younger, I wouldn't necessarily say, but it's like 3 years old. You know, it is rather light. You know, so I don't see. I guess I should get a bottle and find out if it can go further, but I don't see it going any further. Maybe after year 5, and that'll be it. You know, so this is almost made in a style to be enjoyed in its youth. Okay. So, but it has a very nice structure, very well balanced. You know, one that I'd be curious to see if you can go past 5. But one thumb and 3/4, almost 2. Can't go wrong with it. Give it a try. 2022 ERATH Pinot Noir from Oregon. I'm digging it. Hopefully you dig it too. See if I can find something to go with it. It's your Wisconsin wine guy saying, as always, let your palate be the guide when selecting your wine. And, ooh, that essence is nice. I'll see you, ooh, mushroom. I'll see you next time. Ciao.